Hi, and welcome back to another episode of the Divine Stewardship Podcast. As always, I'm here with my lovely wife, Corinne.
Hello.
And today is going to be a very, very special episode. So we have our clients, Terrell and Michaela. They're here, and they're here to give us their perspective and their actual situation where they were and their the whole journey. Just to give you guys a little heads up, they're crushing it. So that's awesome. So guys, it's been a wild journey. How long has it actually been? Have we started?
Yeah, when was our initial meeting?
May. It was May.
May of
Awesome.
this year.
Yep.
Awesome. Wow. So in 5 months, you guys have already made such progress. That's amazing. So first, I want to kind of have the audience know, give a little background when you guys actually, like how we actually met, and honestly, what drew you to want to work with us? Okay, like just let's start there.
Okay. Yeah. So we met Chris and Corinne through Joy Church, and that was shortly before May. We didn't know you guys too well when we started, but we were getting married, and you guys had offered your services to us as you guys were just starting out, and for me personally, what really drew me towards you guys was that you guys were just such genuine people, and you wanted to help so much, and you could just see the passion in both of you guys, and so that made me so comfortable, and also seeing everything that you guys have done with what you know, it was just such an inspiration, and we wanted to know how to get there.
Awesome.
So we started with decent amount of debt. We had some credit card debt, a little over $4,000, I think it was, and student loans, about $100,000 in student loans, and taxes, $2,500 in taxes, and where we are today is no more credit card debt, almost no more taxes, and we've got $3,000 in the savings, which we had pretty much no savings when we met you guys.
And there was a family loan in there too that you guys crushed.
Correct.
Like almost
yes.
immediately,
Yeah.
if I remember correctly.
I forgot about that.
Right.
Yeah.
So our first initial meeting, if I remember correctly, was approximately 2.5-3 hours long. Or, something along those lines.
Hanging out, going over numbers,
Right.
a little bit of both.
Can we take it back a little further?
Sure, of
Yeah.
course.
Okay, first time we actually met was at Joy Church, and it was like this dinner that we have at Joy where everybody comes together to meet the pastor and meet the church.
That's right.
Taste of Joy.
That's right.
Yes.
The first time.
That's right.
And you were explaining what you do for work, and like a sub thought in my head was like, these guys have cool accents. They're from New York. And then the other thing I was thinking was like, I cannot grasp like what exactly you do.
Right.
Have you tried to explain that before?
No, oh my gosh, we left.
Can we look?
And
Can we
Terrell
Google
goes,
it?
What did he do again?
It involves science.
Right.
Something nuclear.
It's a very specialized position. I know that much.
Yeah. Board certified nuclear pharmacist. Yeah. Medical science liaison specialist. Yeah. Okay. You mentioned a couple of milestones, right? I think after the very first, I think you already as you got out of the house and into the car, on the way home, I think you texted Corinne. You had already knocked off one of the
By the next
milestones,
time we saw you at church, you had already had like
which I think
one
was like
thing done.
a day
It
or
was
two later.
Yeah,
I think it was like literally
it was
a day.
it was
a Friday
Sunday.
night, and then
The
that
family
Sunday.
debt.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
the family debt.
Right.
And you were already
We
doing
walked out, we did that in the car on the way home.
it. Yeah.
Right, exactly. So that's one of the things. So what we went over the very first meeting is kind of, we talked about where you were currently.
Yeah.
Right? We didn't necessarily want to drum up all of the past, like what got you there. It doesn't matter necessarily what got you there. But we were very open, and that was one thing that I know took a lot to open up about what that past was, and we were very appreciative for you opening up to us about that, because it means a lot to release that. That's another thing. From there, we saw the map, right? As far as numbers, We asked you to do some homework, right? To go back and to do some work on your own to kind of figure out, but we provided, I would think, like almost like a checklist and a path, right? Almost like a roadmap. And from there, it gave you some, as you mentioned it, with like no direction, right? You didn't really know where you were going, punching at the moon, to be dramatic about it. But yes, you're never going to reach it, right?
We just needed mostly for someone to hold us accountable and like someone to sit down and actually care enough to like look at everything that we're spending our money on.
Just
Right.
be tough on us.
And then
Right.
we found like some of the things that stood out was just like finding a nut in your
Right.
month. It's like, okay, do you really need to be spending money on X, Y, and Z?
Right.
Yes or no? Like,
Right.
no.
Right.
We can
It's
probably
easy
cut
for
it
us
out.
to say it. You don't really need that, do you?
So there was like a little bit of like healthy tension there where it's like we both have things where like, I don't know, do you need to be spending the money on
And then
3
Michaela,
cameras
well,
every
Terrell.
month or whatever
Well,
it
and
is?
that's where Terrell was the one that just would forget about his subscriptions and
That was
Oh,
another
yeah.
thing. The
You
overlap
can't
on
forget.
subscriptions, right? The overlap on
Yeah.
subscriptions. You would, but that's so common. You wouldn't
Yeah.
understand how many people don't even realize that they'll sign up for something. I know coaches, financial coaches that they've gone into their finances and they're like, oh man, I was paying for Netflix twice.
Yeah.
You know, it's like one of those things, and it's so easy to fall into that trap. And
Yeah.
and like you mentioned, just that simple, like, guys, you have to look over this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because life gets in the way. As Pastor says,
Yeah.
there are distractions, and they're meant to pull you away. There's no difference even when it comes to finances, because finances is
Yeah.
biblical, right? There is a biblical principle to apply to finances.
Yeah.
Okay, and one of those things is distraction. If you're not distracted, the money will just flow, because that's what it does, and it'll flow right into your pocket and right out.
Yeah.
Unless you're intentional and you're actually putting some thought into it and some attention to it. So if anything, the one thing that it sounds like we did onto you was to hold you accountable and say, where is your money going?
Yeah, you guys were
Where does it
huge
go?
accountability buddies for us, and it was one of those things where it's been 5 months since that first meeting. We haven't missed a single one of those subscriptions. Like, I don't even think about it.
Right, and has it
doesn't-
affected your
not
lives
at
in the
all.
least? Has it? I mean, can you honestly say that your life is less fulfilled because of whatever it is you gave up?
No. Well, and off the bat, before we even needed to establish what our goals were moving forward, like you came into a point in our life where we're combining our finances because we were just getting married.
Right.
And we're also trying to become more faithful. And in order to be more faithful, we have to be stewards of our finances before we can be stewards of what God really cherishes, which is people. So
Yeah.
we're like,
Absolutely.
okay, we like obviously have to take care of this on a practical level and on a spiritual level. And so before we establish any goals, you're like, here's hundreds of dollars you could save right now just by like
Yeah.
cutting out things you
Yeah.
don't need. Now, what are you trying to do? Like, what's our immediate goals that are like achievable, and then we can move to the bigger goals. And so we
Right.
just create a game plan of like moving towards our goals.
Exactly.
But just the fact that we could come in, we could hang out, and like you guys are a relationship that we can look to. You guys are like wonderful parents. You have a beautiful home. It's like your life speak for itself. So we knew we could trust you, and we just wanted to like show up, have dinner, talk about our finances, and like just know that and be encouraged that we're moving forward towards something.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
let's say, so we had you guys just shortly before you even got married, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Like just before.
right, and during this process, you did get married, and one of the very first things I think we actually had you do was exactly that.
I know a lot of people, they're hesitant to start their financial journey because they don't want to live on a budget. So I have a question for you that might clear up some things for other people is, did you really feel that you were missing out on everything because you had to live on a budget? Do you feel like you just couldn't live anymore? Like, what did the budget do for you? And did you think it was going to limit you more than it actually has?
No, all the budget did was just make us actually think about the things we were doing and buying. Like, for us, it wasn't hard to stick to the budget when we weren't just blowing money on random things or going out to eat all the time or, whatever it was, which we tried not to do a ton of that before. But just the subscriptions, and just cutting those things out, like you said, it brought up hundreds of dollars that per month that we did not know.
It was at least 200, right? It was
Yeah,
somewhere like the two.
I think it was between 2 and 3.
Yeah,
if
I think
not
it was
close.
I think
And
it was,
then you tackled one of the debts, which then you added whatever that minimum payment was onto that. Then the next one, then you added that minimum payment, and before you knew it, you have hundreds of dollars left over.
Exactly.
Awesome.
And so it just helped us think about the things that we were doing before doing them. Right. And we would always ask each other, well, do we really need that? Is that really smart? Like, why don't we have these people over for dinner? We don't have to go out. Why don't we go and do this instead of going and spending money?
Right.
And so it was a lot easier for us to be more faithful with what we were spending and where, because we had to think about it. We never even got really close to that budget, I don't think, like spending wise.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think we did.
Like I think we're just following the game plan, and like the budget is like only spend what you need to spend.
Yeah,
right.
And then the rest is being assigned somewhere.
Now, if I remember correctly, there was even some trips in between then and now.
That's right.
Actually,
which actually that was one thing we decided not to go on that trip, and it was one of those things. The same thing. It's like, well, we don't really need to. Like,
Right.
we can. And we can spend $2,000 on this, but
Right.
you know.
and that was I would think it would be a hard decision because it was a pretty significant trip, at least for you and your friends and your friendship.
It was a wedding that was across the country for those who don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
But then I know you might have been also referring to like some
other ones, right?
vacations.
Yeah. So there were other ones. You went to Washington. You did go to Seattle at one point.
I did.
And then there was some Boston trips in there.
To visit your
Boston
boss.
trip, and
best
then Eastern Tennessee trip.
So we did go to Massachusetts, and we did really good. We told ourselves like, hey, this is what we're gonna spend this trip, and I think we only went like a little bit over.
Exactly.
But we shot low, so it was like $300 combined.
Right.
For the 10 days that we were there.
And let me ask you, in that time, and with that restriction on yourselves, again, self-imposed, did you feel like the trip was any less significant because of that?
No, not at all.
No.
And we didn't actually go over a number. It was more of like, hey, listen, you guys have done good up thus far.
Yep.
You know what the game plan is. Remember, this is your goal.
Right.
And, we can't tell you not to spend.
Yeah.
But just understand that if you go over this, or you go more than what you are putting on yourselves, it's only going to impede your progress, right? Because remember, we had other goals outside of just this trip. This trip really wasn't part of the scheme. It was just something that was going to be in the mix. Because we had the credit card debt that we wanted to get rid of. First thing, we had the family loan, then we had the credit card.
Yep.
And then we were going to tackle some taxes. We were going to tackle some student loans, right? And ultimately save for the actual reception wedding, right? The main crux.
Exactly.
So this was just kind of in there, and we kind of said to you guys, listen, we're not telling you not to go, right? We're never going to tell you that. This is your life and your money. You do what you want. But at the same time, do understand that these choices have consequences, and they have certain ramifications however you attack them.
Yeah.
So we always wanted to put that out there that, listen, it's your money. We don't tell you what to do. We're only coaches, right? We can only show you options, and then you guys choose what options are best for you, right? And which ones get you closer and quicker to your goal, and which ones will put you further away from your goal.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and that's what we had in mind too. Like, we knew when we were setting that budget for the trip, it was low. It was really low. It was $150 per person.
Yeah, $300 is kind of that's. I wouldn't even known how to.
We had
say
a place
that.
to stay, and we had a vehicle, so that's like
That helps.
That helps.
Those are the game changers in our vacation setting.
Yeah, which for us, like, it made hitting that goal a little bit easier. I knew that we were probably going to go over, but I'm thinking about, okay, 300. I'm going to stick as close to that as possible.
And you paid
even
attention.
if I go over.
Yes.
The thing was, you
but
were
we paid
intentional.
attention.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right. And even if you did go over, you were still being very intentional with how much you were spending. You were like, okay, don't go overboard. Whereas before, you could have dropped easily $500-$600 without even thinking about it.
Yeah.
So that's awesome.
Look, he's got a big ass smile on.
Yeah, I'm thinking back when you guys were like, we got to figure out who's the spender, who's the saver. Like, I don't even got to think about this. Know exactly what's going on here.
And it relates back to we're actually coming out with a questionnaire that we're going to be giving to people as fun, because people don't understand what a spender or a saver are.
And
they don't know where they land, right?
Some spenders think they're
we're
savers.
going to have a questionnaire available.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And they'll let them know exactly what type they are. Again, it doesn't really mean anything, but it kind of gives you some type of self-awareness, right?
Yeah,
That's the whole point. It's just make yourself aware of what tendencies you happen to have that you go through, and whether or not you want to do something with that, that's on you. But again, whatever your goals are, you should know what it is that you are more prone to, so that you can maybe alter or at least keep yourself in check to make sure that you reach that goal quicker, right?
Yeah.
That's mainly what it is. So remind me where we were. We had first was the family loan, right? And we released that. We got rid of all that tension there. Then we moved on to the credit card, right? Was it multiple credit cards or just one? I can't quite remember.
It was the one.
It was just one?
So the family loan was about $800 that we had left.
Okay.
And then the credit card was about $4,000.
Okay.
And that was like with interest included in that.
Right.
And we did a systematic chop on that, right? Because we had to first establish where we were with certain things, and then the biggest thing was understanding how much positive cash flow you guys had, right? So if I remember correctly, we kind of depleted your whatever savings you did have at that time. We brought it down to about 1,000, right? Maybe a little slightly less.
I don't even think we were at 1,000. I think we just put as much as we could towards the debt that we had.
Okay.
And
we didn't really have a savings. We just had money in our checkings for our bills and like.
But I think there was a surplus there of some sort. There was some there, if I remember.
Slight.
Yeah, very small.
But that all went to the family debt.
Okay.
And then
this was, of course, after we calculated, right? So everything that we did, we made sure that we covered and that we had enough to cover all of our regular expenses, right?
Yep.
So it wasn't like we just told you you need to pay all this off as quickly as possible.
No.
There was a system in place. There were numbers in place. There was an actual plan in place that showed you that the moves that you were going to make made sense.
Yes,
right.
exactly.
That's the important thing. I want everyone to understand.
Yeah. So we cut down all of our reoccurring charges that we didn't need, things like that. Anything that wasn't a bill or a necessity, or something that we felt was necessary for us. And then we had
The music.
It is what it is.
Our kids like music. I know.
I love it so much. It just like threw me off track for a second. Okay, so we had sat down. We'd cut everything out that wasn't necessary or a bill, and then after that, we figured out how much we bring in, and we subtracted our bills to make sure that we did have a positive
cash flow.
And then after that, our goal that we had set with you guys was for us to plan everything extra that did not need to go towards bills, groceries, or necessities went towards that debt.
Right.
So we got to a point after canceling all of the things that we didn't need. We then, I believe right after that was when we set up our tithing. So we actually were tithing like our full 10%, which felt amazing.
Yeah.
And then after
between the two of us.
We combined our income
exactly
and did the 10%. Well, and then
put a pin in it. I think the most immediate thing was like the pain that was coming from the interest on the credit card, and that's why we prioritized that in the process of.
Well, the credit card was just a short-term debt, which you're supposed to prioritize short-term debt regardless.
Right. And there are different methods for that.
Yeah,
you know, sometimes we attack the small, sometimes we get rid of the largest, sometimes we have to worry about interest.
Exactly.
You know, so for you guys, it worked out to do it that way.
It was super circumstantial, and that's one of the other things I really loved about doing this. It's not like you guys were telling us you have to follow this, this, and this.
Right.
It was tailored to us and to what we needed and how it would work for us.
Right.
And you guys were so open to hearing about the things that we felt were necessary for us and the way that we think we should do it, and you guys created a really awesome personalized plan for us to move forward, and that was what helped. Like, we were at a point where we were able to, we paid off the credit card in 2 months. Wow. Once we started it.
I remember every time seeing you,
Yeah.
we have this much left and we have this much left, and the
And that was so
excitement
motivating. Wasn't that just so motivating? Like, you had the ability, you're like, oh my goodness, we can see it this much.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, now we have this much. Oh my
Exactly.
goodness, now it's only
And
this much.
now
Yeah,
we are going
fast
to
forward.
pay for that reception, that wedding in cash. That's the goal.
And we also decided that we are, instead of getting, having our guests pay for their own rooms, we're deciding to cover their rooms.
And you will be
because we're
able
going
to.
to have the savings to
Praise
do
the
it.
Lord.
Yes.
See, just being faithful, being intentional, stewarding the money properly as intended, right? Again, you work hard for it. The Lord provides you with skills in order to obtain this, and then you bless it by doing what's proper, giving the 10%, and then taking that rest and utilizing it the proper way.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
and
awesome.
I want to put this out there too, because a lot of people, they think, well, if I'm giving a whole 10%, that means I'm going to have less money. I thought that too. I had that mindset too at one point. That is not the case. I don't even miss it. I literally don't even miss that 10%. And for me, I would say I'm probably the one that keeps the most track of our finances right now.
Totally.
And that's just my
No,
my
don't,
own
don't,
OCD
don't.
brain.
I'll
but
tell you right now, that was
me.
Corinne.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm more of the, and I always say this to anyone and everyone that works with us. I'll probably do maybe the first initial meeting, but sitting down and doing a budget, you got to go with the pro, and that is Corinne. I may do one of maybe the first or second initial phone calls and meetings, but when you're ready to do your budget and sit down and really get into the nitty gritty stuff, Corinne is going to completely take over. She takes over, and she will help you and guide you 100% when it comes to the creating the budget and running those numbers accordingly, and how to actually set up the budget or the way in which you run that budget per you, because we did the cash envelope system. Not everyone does that. Do you guys do a cash envelope system? No, right? Mm-hmm. So, what was great for us may not be the best for you guys or for you guys. Right. So there are ways that you can do it even without the cash system.
Yeah, well, and that's where I'm the spender. He's the saver, but I'm good with the numbers.
Right.
And I have the patience to sit down and go through things, and it's just my brain. I went to school for engineering. Like, for me, I can sit down and I can do that kind of thing, and Terrell gets bored of it.
Yeah, it's not everyone's strong point.
No,
but the most important part is you may handle all the stuff, but then you come together and you decide what we're going to do for next month's budget and next month's budget. But you're the one that puts it all together, but you discuss it. And that's what it is. You also have to be in it together. Yeah. Can't do it on your own.
100%.
And one other thing real fast. When we set up that initial budget, it wasn't perfect the first month or even maybe the second month, right?
It's still not perfect.
Exactly.
It'll adjust.
That's the point.
It'll adjust.
It doesn't have to be perfect, but you get better as it goes on. Things get added, things get subtracted, things get missed. Things like that happen, and that's part of the process, right? Because it makes you that much more aware, especially when you think you have everything and it's like, oh, that last thing I forgot that was there, or I totally forgot. It was only once a year that I did that one subscription and completely forgot about it, yada, 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 right? He's laughing because he knows exactly, I'm sure there was something that was like, oh, I completely forgot about that.
For 2 years.
For 2 years. Exactly. So it happens, guys. That's gonna happen, and it's gonna happen along the way. So I just wanted to throw that out there. So this is amazing stuff. So that's some really exciting news about the wedding part. Wow. That's going to be such a blessing on your guests and for you guys to be able to be able to do that. That's simply amazing.
It's incentive for people to fly
Of course.
Probably over $1,000 just flying.
Yeah, because we have a lot of family that's coming from Washington, and the wedding is in Massachusetts, so it's literally across the
country.
entire
Absolutely.
They're going to appreciate that you can do that for them so much.
Yeah, the West
I'm
Coast
just
all the way to
excited
the
to
East
be
Coast.
able to do that because
have money left over too.
Exactly.
I think
Yeah.
you will have
This
money
is
left over.
this is amazing.
This is good. Okay, yes. So we are currently on a plan to put into our savings $675 per week.
Amazing.
And this also goes into where, tithing does not take away.
Absolutely
We can
not.
still put away that much money with tithing our full 10%. And we both, with the raises that we just got, within the past couple of months, we were able to actually up our tithing in correlation with our raises.
Right.
Amazing.
Still put this away. And so by April, we are aiming to have somewhere, I'm going to generalize it, somewhere between 16 and 18 grand saved up just with that 675. And we'll have, the rest of our income to do everything else. And
That's amazing. Not hopefully maybe there's some even bonuses in there towards the
Yeah,
end of the year. You
exactly.
can throw something else.
Yep.
That is absolutely oh man, I didn't even know that part. That was something new here. We haven't had a session in a while, and we were going to catch up, and today was that day, and you just brought that out. That's fantastic news, guys. As I said at the beginning, and if this isn't true now, they are absolutely crushing this. I mean, absolutely crushing this. That is
Good job.
phenomenal.
Amazing.
Phenomenal. So, all right. I don't have any more questions. I mean, I'd love to end it off on a high note like that.
Yeah.
That's
I think you guys are
tremendous.
killing it, and I'm excited for after your debt is all done and you do your reception and you come home with extra cash, because you will, that we can plan for building up your wealth and building up your legacy for your family.
Yeah,
And
next thing is going to definitely be starting to build upon where you are. We have some financial tools that you're going to have to get on yourself, because again, you guys are a family now, so you want to make sure we have some protection on you guys. That's going to be the next step. And what type we go with, that's something we'll discuss later on, which we all encourage everyone to discuss and have.
Insurance.
So we'll look into that. But man, oh man,
you guys are killing it.
oh man,
excited.
so much better than where we were for sure.
I have to say,
my goodness.
we would probably be chugging along a lot slower right now if it wasn't for you guys.
Listen, like you mentioned before, this seemed to be divine intervention.
Yes.
There was a reason why you were switched. There was a reason why you sat across from us. There was a reason why we were at the table. There was a reason why the nuclear stuck in your head. The individual who isn't necessarily the engineer of anything, right? He's just like, what? I can't even creatively think of what that is. That's amazing. You guys, we love you. We love seeing you and helping you. We love the fact that you're on this path. You guys are going to be so far ahead. We're super proud of you for sure, and you're just going to continue to crush it. I can't wait to see what next year, the beginning of next year, has to bring after the wedding, after the ceremony. So that's amazing.
Can I leave your viewers with something?
Please
Yes.
do.
Whichever camera, you guys have nothing to lose in reaching out and everything to gain by getting in contact with these two and just getting some perspective and learning about how to manage your finances. And maybe you're not on the track of being faithful quite yet. That's okay. Doesn't mean you still can't use those principles to steward your life and maybe work into that. So just want to put that out there. Just reach out.
Thanks, Terrell.
It'll be easy. It'll be
Awesome
so
words.
easy.
Appreciate that, brother. So with that, I think we're done. And again, if you like the content and like the message that's being spread here, please like and share, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. And also, if you are ready, like Terrell said, if you're in that rut, listen, you aren't alone, right? We have all been there. It doesn't matter what your income is, whether it's $300,000 or $60,000 or $50,000. It doesn't matter what you're bringing in. There's always intentionality, right? And the whole idea is to get on a path, speak with someone that can hold you accountable, give you some accountability and show you and guide you on that journey, because it's much more difficult to do it on your own. It can be done, but in order to speed up the process and to avoid mistakes and traps, it's always good to have a mentor on your side showing you and guiding you. So with that said, we'll see you on the next one.